Hello, Instagram. This is D Aqualin, and welcome to this live, what I am calling the Inner Glow. And I want to share with you. I'm not going to be with you for long. At least I always say that, but I'm going to try not to be with you long. But I wanted to share with you today 10 ways to glow from the inside out. And really, this is all about developing confidence. And what I'm finding is so many people lack confidence. We lack confidence in ourselves. We lack confidence in, the things that we want to do, the things that we endeavor. We just lack that confidence and belief. And so I'm going to share a story in just a moment of how, for me, it was low self-worth and low self-esteem for a very, very long time. So with that, I'm going to just jump right in. And if you are watching this on the playback, please, in the comments, let me know, number one, that you're watching on the playback, and number two, let me know anything about this particular live that resonates with you, and any way that I can assist you, any way that I can help you going forward. So I thought about it. My title was a little vague, 10 ways to glow from the inside out. And I kept thinking, well, I could have been more specific. Maybe say, 10 ways to glow in the workplace, or 10 ways to glow in your relationship from the inside out, or 10 ways to glow as an entrepreneur from the inside out. And what I realized is that all things that I'm about to share applies to all areas of your life. So whether you're wanting to have confidence in your career or in your job, or if you wanted to have confidence in your relationship, if you wanted to have confidence in your finances or whatever, it really begins on the inside and it exudes out. And so what I'm going to share with you today is really the key tools to glow in confidence in any area of your life. Any area of your life, you can apply exactly what I'm about to share, because everything in our world, everything in your world, everything in my world, it stems from us. The way we view the world, the way we perceive ourselves, the way we perceive others, our self-image, our self-confidence, and all of that, it shows up in our lives. And so I want to talk about the glow. What does glow mean? For me, glow is the confidence. When you're glowing, you are confident, you are radiant, you are strong, you are beautiful, you are being your most authentic, most unapologetic self. And I think that we all are here to experience that. We're all here to glow, And I think that for a lot of people, we have to get to that space in our lives, especially for me. So my story is this. I was born and raised, born with sickle cell anemia. And so being raised in, with my mother being very protective and all of that, couldn't really like go outside and hang out certain times of year because the weather would make me sicker, and things like that. And so with that, it caused me to be introverted. And it also, over the years, I'm not going to say over the years, I think that as a result of, growing up in those conditions and having other things that happened to me as a little girl, just caused me to just have low self-worth and low self-esteem. And it's so funny because I used to model, and I would just be on the inside crushing myself because I felt like I wasn't as beautiful as the other girls. I wasn't as smart when I was in college. Even though I was an honor student, kept feeling like I'm not as smart as everybody else, and I need to do this, and I need to be more beautiful, and all of this, just putting so much pressure on myself. And then even in adulthood, it showed up in my relationships. And what it was is that I just had really low self-worth and low self-esteem. And it took me a while to grow out of that. It took me some years to grow out of that. But the catalyst came for me with reading this book called Healed Without Scars by David G. Evans. And if you are one of my, if you've taken any of my classes before, or if you're one of my students, you know that that book really changed my life. Like, that book really showed me so many aspects of myself that I needed to deal with, and I needed to face, and I needed to heal, you know. And that was the catalyst for me in really starting my journey to self-love and my journey to glow and be the person that I am today. And I'm an extreme introvert, so I will just, you know, stay in my bubble, but I stay in my bubble in the most confident way. It has shown up in my relationships, it's shown up in my finances, it showed up in a lot of areas of my life where I'm really confident in the person that I have become and in the person that I am becoming as a result of me doing all of the 10 things that I'm going to share with you today. Plus, you know, just being tapped into myself. And being tapped into myself means that I really had to go within to learn me and to be comfortable with me and to love me unconditionally. In Inner Work University, I use HEAL as an acronym: honor, empower, accept, and love yourself unconditionally. And so I believe that when you are able to do all four, when you're able to honor yourself, empower yourself, accept yourself, and love yourself, then you really do heal your life. But it takes doing the inner work. And so some of the things that I'm going to share with you today are inner work things that you need to work on, that we all should work on and should constantly work on as much as possible. And as we're doing this work, then that's when you really see the results in your life. You really can look at your life and say, oh, wow, you know, I've done the work and I'm in a space where I'm happy. I'm in a space where I am, you know, in love with who I am and in love with my life. That's possible for you. I think that a lot of times what happens for so many of us is that we live life. The life that we live that we're not happy with is because we're living life to the level of our esteem, meaning that you don't see yourself or you don't believe in yourself above where you are in that particular moment. I think it was Marie Osmond who said that we merit to the level of our esteem. But I just believe that we do everything to the level of our esteem. Every decision that we make it to the level of our esteem. So if you have low self-esteem, you're going to choose conditions and situations that matches that. But if you have high self-esteem and confidence, then you're going to choose and find yourself in situations that that match that. So with that, I want to share with you 10 ways to glow in confidence from the inside out. And the number one thing that you have to do is you have to face your issues, which means face your darkness in the same way that you embrace and face your light. Because it's so easy for us to say, you know, embrace and celebrate our light or our goodness. But we tend to want to put up under the rug, sweep up under the rug the things that we're not so pleased with and not so happy with, or the things that maybe we're ashamed of, or we're ashamed of people knowing or finding out about us, or, you know, what we've been told that you shouldn't be, you shouldn't do, you shouldn't have. We tend to want to put that in the back burner or sweep that under the rug. And so you really have to face your issues, meaning that I acknowledge that this is what's happening. This is a part of me. I acknowledge that this is something that I need to heal. This is something I need to give my attention to. This is something that I need to face. And when you face it, then you can transmute it. You can transform it. and allow it to transcend you to your next level in your being, your beingness, your being of who you are here to be. So you have to, number one, face your issues. If you're not willing to face your issues, you really won't grow, because the growth is understanding who you are, understanding why you are, understanding the past, the present, so that you can change the trajectory of your future. So that's number one, is to face your issues. Number two, after you face your issues, you need to forgive yourself. Forgive yourself. So I have this thing, Lisa Natoli, she has a 40-day program called the 40-Day Program. And I remember when I first took the program, it was January of 2014. I just came off of a cruise and, wanting to have, I was coming out of religion and just came off this cruise where I really had just a beautiful, I'm going to say, spiritual experience. A few days later, January 1st, I started this 40-day program. And in the program, she talked about how the assignment for these particular few days was to write down all the grievances that you had against people. And then I did that, and I wrote down all the people that I had grievances with. And in my mind, I'm thinking it's all about them. And then I think the next day, or one of the days shortly after that, she brought to our awareness that the reason why you have grievances with them is not them, it's actually you. And I remember that awareness within me was, I allowed this person to treat me this way. I allowed this person to talk to me this way. I allowed certain things to happen. Or even if I didn't directly allow it, or even if it happened in spite of me, I'm going to say giving direct permission to, the way I responded to it, the way I reacted to it was also on me. So I ended up having to sit with that and realizing that it was never about those people. It was really the grievance that I really had was a grievance with me for how I allowed, or how I reacted, and how I responded to those people. And so I ended up having to really go through this forgiveness process of me. And I had never really, although I talked about and I shared, on my platform prior to that, you have to forgive yourself, you have to forgive yourself. I didn't really know what that looks like and what that really meant until I actually did the exercise. And so you really have to give yourself grace and space, but also you have to forgive yourself. Forgiving yourself for whatever you've allowed, whatever you disallowed, whatever you rejected about you, whatever you did or said to you or towards you, or whatever, whatever it is, you have to just take some time and really, truly, authentically, unconditionally forgive yourself. Forgive. You have to forgive yourself. And it was Catherine Ponder who talks about forgiveness being an exchange. And I remember saying this before I read her book, that forgiveness is an exchange. You, in exchange for this grievance, or in exchange for this issue that I have, I give it for whatever it is that you want to receive in return. So in exchange for however way you feel about yourself that is less than, you need to forgive, give it for your esteem, give it for your love, give it for your glow. Okay? So that is number 2. Number 3, you want to develop a relationship with God. These are in no particular order, so don't, come for me because I put that number 3. Develop a relationship with God. And whatever God you serve, I believe that there's only one God. I believe that all the gods that we serve, we're only serving one God. That's just my personal belief. So develop your relationship with God, because in your relationship with God is where true transformation comes in to your life. And when I talk about developing a relationship with God, I'm talking about the God within, the God that dwells within you. Yes, I say this all the time to my ladies. God is out there, but God is also in here, because God is everywhere. But when you go within, that means that you shut off all the blinders and everything outside of you that would influence you. And you go within in the space that is untainted with a perception, outside perception of God and of who you are, and you make that connection within. And when you develop that relationship with God, that's when the true healing, that's when the true clarity and living in your divine, what I like to call Godness, is birthed through developing a relationship with God. That is number 3. Number 4, you want to live your truth unapologetically. Your truth is different from my truth. There are universal truths like gravity, laws and all of that. There are universal truths, but then there's also your truth. There's my truth. Everyone else has their own truth. Find out what your truth is. How do you find out what your truth is? You do that by developing a relationship with God. You do that by facing your issues. You do that by forgiving yourself. And as you do this work, what will happen is who you are will start to, I'm going to say it this way, you'll start to reveal more of your true, authentic self. And as you reveal more of your true, authentic self, that's the part of you that you accept and you embrace. That's your truth. And you do that unapologetically. So that is number 4. Number 5, one of the ones that I struggled with for a very long time: stop comparing yourself to other people. In order for you to glow from the inside out, you're going to have to stop comparing yourself to other people. Your walk while you're here is your specific way or purpose or walk or journey that you are supposed to have, and someone else's is theirs that they're supposed to have. And just because they look like they may have more, just because they look like they may be doing more, doesn't mean that you should have it or that you should be doing it. This is why you have to embrace and understand what your truth is, because your truth is different from someone else's. But when you compare yourself to others, what you're saying to yourself and to God is, I'm not enough. And I'm here to tell you that you are enough. You're saying to yourself, I'm not worthy. I am not satisfied. I want more. I want what they have, as opposed to really concentrating and paying attention to your life here and now. Stop comparing yourself to others. You rob yourself of that. You rob yourself of your joy when you're comparing yourself to others. There is a quote, I quoted it, I can't remember who said it, but the quote was, or is, oh my gosh, my mind just went blank, that God will never bless you for trying to be someone else, or something like that. I can't really think of the quote right now, but you have to think about that. Like, you're here to be you. You're not here to be anyone else. So you don't have to worry about trying to fill other people's shoes. Because here's the thing, a lot of people are doing exactly that, trying to fill other people's shoes. Your job is to concentrate on your life and live your truth, not someone else's. So that is number 5. Number 6 is make self-care a priority. Another way to glow from the inside out is make self-care a priority. And what this is making sure that you take mental, emotional, physical breaks, making sure that you don't put all of yourself out there to where you're spent and you're tired. Also just taking care of your physical body, taking, healing baths, and, listening to music and journaling, and creating a space for you to go and be with yourself and God. Making your self-care a priority. If that means, you're having a hair appointment, if that means, getting your nails done or whatever, or getting a massage, make it your self-care a priority. Because the more you love yourself, the more you want to care for yourself. Just like, if you think about it, the more you love your spouse, the more you want to care for your spouse. The more you love your child, you want to care for them. You want to make sure that they're okay. Well, you deserve the same thing. So in order for you to glow from the inside out, you must make self-care a priority. I'm a full-time caregiver, and so for those of you who don't know, it's almost 11, it's 10 and a half years ago, my sister passed away, and she had 3 children. And so I decided to keep her children together. At the time, they were 9, 13, and 20-year-old, who the 20-year-old is fully dependent. She she suffered a brain injury a couple of years prior. And so I kept them together, but for a long time, I was making sure that everybody else was okay. Until I started getting sick in my body, and I realized I've been making sure everybody else is okay. I've been making sure everybody else have their doctor's appointments, and taking everybody else, to their appointments, and making sure that they are fine. But I've neglected myself. And so I just decided that I'm going to take better care of myself. So I schedule my doctor's visits, and I do my preventative care, plus my other doctor visits. Not only that, but I started incorporating self-care Sundays, 1 day a week, where I do something for myself. Now that they're older, I do something for myself every day, self-care. Because I realized that in order for me to be able to give to them effectively, I have to be taken care of too. So take care of yourself. Self-care is super, super important. So you have to make self-care a priority. Number 7 is use your words. Use your words, use your words, use your words. As you see and know, I am big on affirmations. But I'm also big on, up there, declarations. Declarations are a little bit different from affirmations. Affirmations are one quick, sentences where you speak them in the now. Also with declarations, you speak those in the now, but declarations are more detailed and more of you, telling a condition or a situation the change that you're desiring to see in that particular condition or situation. Use your words. You have to use your words. I just shared yesterday about my story of having pain in my body, laying in the bed, and would hear thoughts of, you'll never be, do have, you're gonna die in this condition. And I just went through going to see several specialists, and all of the specialists were saying that there is nothing we can do for you. And the last ones that I had saw right before I'm not going to say really bedridden, but I was, the mentality that I had at the time, because I stayed in the bed a lot, was that I might as well be bedridden. And so those thoughts, and the last 2 doctors that I saw, the last 2 specialists that I saw, said, you'll either be on crutches or in a wheelchair for the rest of your life. At the time, I was on crutches. And it took a word that I heard in church where the preacher said, heaven is waiting for you to open your mouth. And what he was referencing is, we're wanting to see changes in our lives, but we don't say anything. We don't speak up. We don't ask for it. We don't declare it. We don't affirm it. We don't confess it. And so I remember going back home, and the same day, getting back in the same bed and hearing the same voice over and over in my head, in my mind, telling me the same thing. And I said, no, I won't. Because that's all I could get out at the time. And I wasn't convinced that I wasn't at the time. But the more I said I wasn't, and then the more I started saying what my life was going to be, what I was going to experience in the future, whenever the more I spoke my truth, which is why knowing your truth is important. The more I spoke my truth, the stronger I became in my physical body, so that where I was supposed to be on crutches or a wheelchair for the rest of my life, I wasn't. As a matter of fact, I was able to walk without crutches. And then I was walking on a cane, and then I was walking independent of the cane. And then I had some more issues come up. And so now I am on a cane, but I am okay with it because it doesn't define me. And I know that this is not the end of me. This is actually a part of the journey. It doesn't define who I am, because who I am is independent of the physical in the first place. It works with the physical while it's here, but it's independent of the physical. But I said all that to say that I use my words. And I want to encourage you to use your words, because it is by your words that you will change your world. If you want to create a thing, use your words. If you want to destroy a thing, use your words. If you want something to come into your life, use your words. If you want something to go out of your life, use your words. We have this whole thing in Inner Work University where I talk about putting your hand over your throat and feeling the vibration of your words, and understanding that your voice, your sound, is the perfect tone and pitch that is for your life, and that your body responds to that vibration. But not only does your body respond, but so does your conscious, unconscious, and subconscious mind. That's how powerful your words are. Your words really do create your world, especially your words that are enforced with two things: belief and definition. Your definition, because everybody's definition of a thing is not always the same. Your definition and your belief mixed with your words create a powerful force in your life. So use your words to change your world. So that is number 7. Number 8, this is a powerful one. And I started doing this years ago when I started really understanding this, and that is using the power of your imagination. Using the power of your imagination. As a matter of fact, today in A Course in Miracles, I read something, and I keep notebooks. I study A Course in Miracles, so I have a notebook here. So I had to write this down because it says seeing is always outward. And so in my notes I wrote, I love this. I believe the difference in seeing and vision is that seeing is outward, but vision is inward. And vision comes by way of your imagination. That's how you envision. The Bible says in Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 2, write the vision and make it plain so that he who reads it may run with it. If it's a vision, why do I need to write it? That's because a vision is inward. If it's a vision, if everybody can see it, if it's a vision, then that means everybody can see it. Well, no, things that can be seen are outward, but a vision is inward. So what vision do you have of your life? Whatever vision that you have of your life on the inside, that's what you need to play over and over and over. That's why it's important to have a vision board. The vision board, what it does is it gives you something to see to make the connection with what you envision on the inside of you. What's the vision that you have for your life? And the more you hold that vision in your heart, then what you do is by way of your imagination, which is your image in action, you connect with that vision and you see yourself being it. You see yourself doing it. You see yourself having it. You see yourself walking through it. You see yourself touching it. You see yourself, operating as if whatever that thing is already manifested in your life. So make sure that you use the power of your imagination. That is the 10th way to glow from the inside out. Well, that is the 8th of the 10 ways to glow from the inside out. Number 9 is you want to believe in yourself. What I mean by this is you must have confidence in yourself. And if you do all of these things that I just talked about, facing your issues and forgiving yourself and developing your relationship with God and living in your, living unapologetically, not comparing yourself to others, making self-care a priority, using your words, using your imagination, then you're going to develop that belief in yourself. That belief not only is confidence, but it's what you accept is true. Do you accept it's true that that vision that you have of your life is true? Do you accept that the words that you speak over your life is true? Do you accept that your truth is true? You have to really get into a space where you believe in yourself, because everything is connected to your belief. I just took a class earlier today where her name was Fatima Omar, and she said this: anything you believe or declare, you are always right. Why? Why is that? Because if you believe it, that means that you've accepted it as true. So whatever you believe about yourself is true, and it's going to show up in your conditions and situations and circumstance. Do you believe that you're capable of being, doing, having, going? Or do you believe something other than that? What do you believe about yourself? And let that be your homework. What do I believe about myself? And do I see it? Do I speak it? Am I living it? Number 10 is you have to live from the inside out. Live from the inside out. We tend to want to live from the outside in, meaning allowing conditions and situations and things around us to dictate who we are. The perfect example of this is, people, I don't want to use that example. Let me see. Do I want to use that example? No. Let's see. Let's take this for an example. Because here's the thing. I think I don't want to use this example. I don't want to use an example here, because Neville Goddard says something that was so powerful. The cause creates the effect, but sometimes the effect creates the cause, because they're connected. And so I guess an example could be, people find their identity in, wearing certain brands of clothing. But if that's going to create some esteem within yourself, then that's fine. But what I'm saying is the esteem should already be there. The love should already be there, should be from within, and shouldn't necessarily depend on, that's the best way to say it, shouldn't necessarily depend on what's outward. But a lot of people depend on outer conditions and situations to validate who they are on the inside. But if you already feel validated on the inside, then regardless of what's happening on the outside, it's okay. Because here's the thing, all of the outside things can change in any given moment. But what you believe, what you live, what you identify with on the inside, the inner validation, the inner affirmation, the inner confirmation of who you are, never will change, no matter what on the outside shifts or changes. So you have to live your life from the inside out, meaning that all of this can go away, but I'm still okay on the inside. All of this can change, but I know who I am. And as you know who you are, that's a part of living your truth. That's a part of seeing and speaking and forgiving and letting things go when you make a mistake and when you mess up. And understanding that your mistakes are tools for mastery, meaning that there's a lesson for you to learn in this mistake. And that's why it was, maybe I'm going to say, a divine mistake. So those are 10 ways to glow from the inside out. I'm going to give you those one more time. Number 1, face your issues. Number 2, forgive yourself. Number 3, develop a relationship with God. Number 4, live your truth unapologetically. Number 5, stop comparing yourself to others. Number 6, make self-care a priority. Number 7, use your words. Another part of using your words, because I have this in my notes that I didn't talk about. So you affirm, you declare, but also call your power back to you. Because we give our power away so much to so many things and people and conditions and situations. And call it back. Call it back. Call it back. I call my power back. I call my power back. I call my love power back. I call my forgiveness power back. I call my voice, my word power back. Call it back. Call it back. Number 8 is use your imagination, visualize. Number 9 is believe in yourself. And number 10, live from the inside out. So I do have one bonus. And that bonus is show up for yourself. In order for you to glow from the inside out, you have to show up for yourself. Show up for yourself. Which means if your spirit is telling you to do something, do it. If your spirit is telling you to go somewhere, go. Show up for yourself. You deserve it. You're worthy of it. So that's all that I have. Thank you so much for watching. I am super excited to be able to come to you and share this information with you today. I say this all the time in my Inner Glow Confidence Call that's held on every Friday, which is a free call. So make sure you join me on Friday. Fridays at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time. But I say this in all of those calls, that what I share with you in these quick, calls and moments are tips, which means that there's way more to it. Just like, think about an iceberg. So there's the tip of the iceberg, and then up under the surface there is the iceberg, the big part of it. These are just tips. You can take these tips and you can study it, and you can apply it, and you can understand what it means to really incorporate these tips into your life. And I highly encourage you to do that. You can do this on your own, or you could also join and connect with another life coach to do this work, or you can connect in Inner Work University. Inner Work University is my online program where we have bi-monthly classes, and we're soon starting our bi-monthly Zoom group. You can learn more about that by clicking the link in my bio. But I'm saying all of that to say that don't just take these tips and just say, oh, okay, I'm going to forgive myself. And then you forgive yourself for a short period of time. You say, I forgive myself, I forgive myself, I forgive myself. Or, I see the life I want to live. I envision it. I see it, I see it, I see it. And then in a couple of weeks, you don't. You want to make the glow a lifestyle. And in order for you to make the glow a lifestyle, you need tools. Whatever those tools are for you, get those tools and use those tools to help you grow, to help you learn, to help you become more of who you are. No, not more of who you are. Help you become more of who you are here to be, okay? Because you already are. You just want to continue to unfold, or I'm going to say remove the layers of what we have been programmed, what we have agreed to. Don Miguel Ruiz, the 4 agreements, what we've agreed to, what's been programmed in our mindset You wanting to remove all of that so that you can reveal who you truly are. And it takes sometimes classes, and it takes coming on a live or watching a video and taking notes and then saying to yourself, I am going to apply this in my life. And I'm going to apply this until I know that it just becomes second nature to me. It should be second nature for you that if you make a mistake, you forgive yourself. It should be second nature now for you to scroll on Facebook and see other people and celebrate them instead of comparing your life to them. But all of that takes time. And it also takes community. It also takes learning and allowing yourself the space to connect with people. You don't have to connect with me. Find someone to connect with. Unless you're so led, but find someone to connect with. Find your tribe that you can grow in and grow with. But remember, more than anything, it starts here. It starts within. It starts on the inside of you. And as you are doing the inner work, what will happen is your outside world will start to bring to you the support that you need, the people that you need, the tools that you need in order for you to master this any kind of work that you're doing for yourself. So that's all I wanted to share. Thank you so much for joining me. I am so excited to just be able to share. This is one of my passions, one of the things that I love doing. But thank you for holding space for me. Again, if you're watching the playback, let me know that you're watching the playback, but also comment one takeaway that you have from watching this recording. Until then, until next time, I hope that you join me on Friday. Friday is the Inner Glow Confidence Call. It's at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time. Absolutely free. I always post a link somewhere here on Instagram. But I hope that you can join me then. And until then, thank you so much. I send love, light, peace, and blessings to you. Know this, you are the work of God, and God's work is wholly lovable and wholly loving. Take care.